Kevin, if you'll not go too far, maybe a little close, because I'll pull you up eventually. Yeah, just stand in front of her, that's good. And that's up to y'all, whatever y'all do about mass, that's y'all's call. We're gonna catch grief no matter what we do. That's your call. That's your call. You know somebody who's knows on us. Well, that's up to y'all. All right, do we have everybody? Media, you folks ready? I know somebody's live streaming, I think. I just want to be sure that y'all are ready. Okay? We good? All right, first of all, I want to welcome everybody to this press conference and certainly thank our media partners for being here. Very important operation that we just concluded. I want to specifically thank the men and women standing behind me. We'll talk more about them in a minute. These folks right here are what made this operation successful. So that you know, the agencies involved in this operation were the Mount Pleasant Police Department, we hosted, with the South Carolina Attorney General's Office, the Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force, the United States Secret Service, NCIS, Homeland Security, Charleston County Sheriff's Office, Greenville County Sheriff's Office, Marion County Sheriff's Office, York County Sheriff's Office, Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office, Darlington County Sheriff's Office, Hampton County Sheriff's Office, Florence County Sheriff's Office, the Charleston Police Department, Malden Police Department, and Bishopville Police Department. I'll tell you what, these partnerships that we have with these other agencies are so important that, you know, we recognize we cannot get our job done by ourselves. It takes every law enforcement professional in the area to make these things successful. So let me tell you why you're here. I'll tell you a little bit about Operation Playground. Last week, the Mount Pleasant Police Department, along with the South Carolina Attorney General's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, conducted a 4-day operation with other federal, state, county, and municipal law enforcement partners that I just listed. The purpose of the investigation was to target individuals who seek to engage juveniles under the age of consent in sexually explicit or suggestive online communication with the intent to arrange a meeting with the said juveniles for the purpose of sex. The investigation also sought to identify those subjects who possess, transmit, share, or create child pornography, and those who will solicit juveniles as prostitutes, promote the prostitution of juveniles, and any other participating in the sexual exploitation of children in Mount Pleasant. This operation resulted in the arrest of 8 individuals, and you'll see their pictures behind me, who attempted to solicit sex with a minor and or dissemination of obscene material to a person under the age of 18. In addition, the 8 initially taken into custody, detectives are completing investigations of 17 additional offenders, and we'll have warrants for their arrest in the near future. So that'll take us up to a total of 25 targets when this is complete. Joint operations like this one are vital for the protection of our children from predators like the ones we arrested and the others who we will arrest soon. The dark web is a very dangerous place where these predators feel safe while they are targeting their next victim. At least 2 of these predators have been chatting with what they believe to be an underage person for the past 2 weeks. In reality, they were chatting with one of our undercover officers. Any person that would invest over 2 weeks trying to set up a meeting with an underage person and then follows through by traveling to meet them, some from over 2 hours away, are not good people, nor the ones we want in our community. We have to get them off the street. Those suspects that did travel to meet the underage person, I will tell you, and I've been notified by my staff, that their bond has been denied. So with this operation, it was more than just chatting. There were images sent. They were set up to meet. Well, these folks actually traveled to Mount Pleasant thinking they were meeting this underage person for whatever acts or deviance that they were going to engage in. Instead, they met our police officers who got them off the street. The internet can be a very dangerous place for our children, especially the dark web like I just mentioned. So I want to encourage all parents that are watching this right now to know what sites and chat rooms your children are visiting. Our agency The Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and our partner agencies will continue conducting these types of operations. So this should be a warning and a wake-up call to all predators out there that the underage person you think you're chatting with, you think you're going to be meeting, probably is going to be an underage officer. And we will not stop until these predators are identified, arrested, and our children are safe. I want to introduce and ask Special Agent Kevin Atkins, come up. Come up. He's the ICAT commander with the Attorney General's office. And what I'd like to do is open this up to questions, if anybody has any for myself or Kevin here, or any of the other staff here. Any questions?
How did operation design?
I wouldn't want to get into too many specifics. It's just about the officers doing a proactive job and going out and doing these undercover type investigations, but I wouldn't want to say what platforms they were using, just not to compromise any future investigations.
Can you kind of walk us through, like, you talked about beginning the operation, all these agencies involved, so it was a 2-week, like, just kind of a nuts and bolts of it?
I mean, it's kind of what we do.
Right.
I mean, that's our sole mission, is to investigate these complaints and to focus on individuals who would do harm to our children. Because make no mistake about it, each person that actually traveled with the intent to engage in a sexual contact with a minor.
Was it all here in Mount Pleasant? Like, I've heard so many agencies, but this was the host community, so all these people, all 8 people, it was a Mount Pleasant person or child?
The activities took place, law enforcement activities took place here in the city limits. Yes, ma'am.
But to clarify that, I know what you're asking. They were not, the suspects that were taken in custody were not all from Mount Pleasant.
Oh, no.
We were the, like I said, the host agency who set up the operation with our partners, and we're chatting with these folks from all over the place. This is where they came. And this is what they would do if it hadn't been a police officer. That's how these predators get involved or find their victims. They start chatting and then find a way to gain their trust, and then they arrange to meet.
So what you basically did, you said the kids were here in Mount Pleasant, and then you talked to people from Greenville or Anderson or whatever, and then you had the suspects drove here to meet kids they thought were in Mount Pleasant.
That's correct.
Okay.
Could you address how prevalent you think this problem is in this particular community and statewide?
I mean, I can't tell you about the particular community, but I can tell you statewide it's a problem. Just based on the type of cyber tips we get from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, all those tips are not just people disseminating child pornography. It's also, they alert us to when minors are engaged in inappropriate conversations with adults. They talk about, I don't want to get too specific, but talk about sex or other acts. And so these companies have algorithms and programs that detect that, and we're notified. And so I can tell you it's very prevalent in our state and around the country as well.
And I'll take it a little further. I think it's a global problem. This could go as far as not just the inappropriate acts with underage person, but it could be human trafficking, the prostitution they talked about. There could be folks that these predators just show up with just the mindset of doing something violent to these individuals. So it's worldwide, and I think operations like this are going on worldwide to intervene and stop this type of activity. Anyone else have any other questions? All right, if you don't, we'll be here for a few minutes afterwards if anybody wants to speak to us individually. Thank you all for coming.
We are so short-staffed. They just sent me down here with my phone, but I got to get this phone.
No worries.
So everything is in the press conference. I kind of need you to stay on this phone. We won't be everything. I'll ask you some questions just about,
Oh, sure.
not the whole thing, but.
I mean, I can certainly get you a copy of what I wrote first. How about that?
I'll love a copy, but I also need a sound bite.
Oh, okay.
It's just that.
I got you.
So if I got a copy too, that would be great.
Oh, so you got a video of this, what we're doing? We'll come back up front
I
then.
don't like show yourself to the person around.
Are you come back around front to do it?
No, I'm just going to kind of ask you a couple questions.
You just ask me questions. Okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
Now, first, tell me about the operation.